Hi, welcome to Elizabeth's Cozy Kitchen. And I can't tell you how happy I am to be back here in my kitchen. We were redoing the floor. I know you can't see the floor in the footage, so I could have a sand floor and you wouldn't even know the difference. But we were redoing the floor, and so that was, so I've been out of my kitchen for 4 weeks, so it's great to be back in the kitchen and doing a video. While I was on Facebook, I saw a really cute video, a cooked version. They took apple slices, so I basically peeled an apple, cored it, and just cut it into little thin slices. And they put some caramel on it and some chocolate, so it's like a Samoa. And I'm like, well, that sounds delicious. I need to make that raw. So the first thing that I did is I had some caramel left over from when I made my turtle cheesecake, and you can find that recipe. And so all I did was I took some shredded coconut, and I mixed in the coconut to this caramel. And by the way, it tastes like German chocolate cake, that frosting. It tastes exactly like that, in my opinion. I haven't actually had real German chocolate cake in a while. But that Girl Scout cookie is like my favorite cookie. I miss them like crazy, so this recipe sounded really cool. And so I have like this caramel with this coconut, and I'm just spreading it on the apple. And one of the things, right now it's October, one of the things I really like are caramel apples. And I haven't had them in a while. And I keep meaning to try this caramel recipe and just, slap it on an apple, and haven't gotten to that yet. But so I'm really excited about this recipe, as tomorrow is Halloween, and I still get to have like my caramel apple. And it's even better because it's got coconut and chocolate on it. My dog is staring at me right now. She's not getting any. So the other thing that I need to make this, that Girl Scout cookie, is some chocolate. So I'm going to make some raw chocolate. The recipe is I got from The Raw Chef, and he has a whole course series on it. And if you really want to get into raw chocolate making, there's way too much information about tempering and creating a really nice because raw chocolate's really expensive to buy. And I was doing the Enjoy Life chocolate chips, but there's just too much sugar in them. They still trigger that sugar craving that I'll get. So I have the caramels and the apples. So first thing you do is I had some maple sugar. I have, you do it by a scale when you make this. So I had 130 grams of maple syrup, and I'm just going to powder it, because you want a really thin consistency to your sugars. You know how powdered sugar, you ever wonder how they get that? I make my own powdered sugar when I use sugar products. I don't buy powdered sugar. I just put it in the Vitamix, and like you get powdered sugar. Too much, because it will become caked at the bottom. You can see this light sugary stuff on top. That usually means that it's ready, and then when you take off the lid, smoke comes out. So adding to this, I'm not going to clean the blender in between. I have, oh my god, I just breathed that in. Oh, that tastes that was delicious. I just breathe in sugar. So I have cocoa butter here. I melted it. I have 250 grams of cocoa butter. I about 75% melted it in the dehydrator. You can also do it on the stove, although I'm saying that my stove isn't back yet. So I did mine in the dehydrator. I have just a little measly 20 grams of cashews, just to make this more like a milk chocolate, which is like 20 cashews. And then a whopping 90 grams of cocoa powder. You can use 70 grams if you don't want it so dark. The goal is going to be a lot of blending, and it's going to be a lot of blending because we really want it to heat up. And so I'm going to be feeling the side of the machine, waiting for it to heat up. And I have my trusty little thermometer. And I'll put it in there and stick it in there occasionally to check to see what temperature it is. And I even have it set to go off at 42 degrees Celsius. So I'm going to give that a blend. So all I did was blend it once, and you can hear my timer going off like crazy. I stuck the thermometer in there, and just one blending, it got to the right temperature. And of course it helps that my, it helps that my cocoa butter was already warm. So it just heated everything up. In the video she mentions that she likes the Vitamix blender because it heats up the mixtures faster. But it's easy peasy, it's already mixed. And so then kind of begins the tempering process. And if you're just doing it for these, you don't really need to. Coco, come here. Coco, come. It's funny, I swear she barks in almost every video, but she doesn't normally bark that much. So now we want to cool down the thing. So I'm going to put it in a bowl. Coco, come. Come here. Come here. Sit. Sit. Yeah, you can watch me make chocolate. You can't have chocolate. I know this looks like I'm talking to the floor because she's not in the video. But, okay. So I'm putting it in a stainless steel bowl. And another reason I didn't wash it after powdering the sugar. You want to make sure your blender is very dry. You want to make sure your bowl is dry. You want to make sure your spatula is very, very dry. I've ruined many chocolates just on the fact that water. We're using wooden spoons for a while, but there was just a little bit of water trapped in the wooden spoon, and that. Hey, a lot has happened since my phone died when I was in the middle of shooting. So what I did is I just kept stirring and stirring and stirring this until it became 39 degrees Celsius, and now it's gone. What I was explaining is it's very important not to have any water in your blender, in your bowl, and your spatula when you are doing this. I've even had problems with regular chocolate on the double boiler on the stove with water and that problem. So what I did is I drizzled the chocolate over the apples, and then I ate some and tried very, very hard not to eat the last four so that you could see what they looked like. And then I also finished putting the chocolate into the molds. So I had some Darth Vader, some pumpkins, and some skulls. Although it wasn't long enough, I don't think I can pop any out. Nope. Nowhere near that. This is going to be in the fridge for a couple of, like an hour or two, and then it can sit at room temperature. If we did it right. If we tempered properly, it can sit at room temperature, and it should be smooth and delicious, and no matter what, it's going to be delicious. Let's see how we did tempering wise. But thank you very much for joining me. So we have our Darth Vader pumpkins and skulls for chocolate for Halloween. And then I also have my little Girl Scout cookies on an apple. So thank you very much, and until next time, manja.